right. Perfect. Okay, so we're live. I am Michelle Perella. I'm super excited you guys have joined me tonight for this workshop. Well, first of all, if you don't know me, I'm also a registered nurse, and I'm married to a firefighter. I have 3 girls. They're 13. Kayla's 13, Janelle's 8, and Mia is 3. So we're really busy around here, and I wanted to host this workshop actually just for my team. I initially planned, but as a few weeks went on, I started noticing other coaches were having like the same struggles. And I've been a coach since April of 2016. And just like all of you, I went through like Coach Basics, and I've done tons of training, and I know what I need to do, but I have struggled with trying to figure out kind of like how to do it and when to do it. And I kind of found myself like, I felt like I was in on mode, like constantly. So I've tried like many tracking systems. And I finally, the last like month or two, I found something I feel like that is working well. So I wanted to share it with everybody. And it's nothing fancy, but I completely understand what everyone's going through. If you feel like you've been like on this on mode and just trying to figure out how to get organized and track your business to where it's effective, and you don't want people falling through the cracks. So with that said, Veronica is gonna get a little interactive with everyone. And first I wanna recognize her because today Veronica is 2-star, like qualified official. So I just wanted to give her some congrats, and I'm gonna hand it over to her for now.
Thank you so much, Michelle. So I'm really excited. Team Unleashed is a 2-star team. How exciting! So when Michelle called me and she said, "Hey, I want to do this call. Will you join?" And I say yes to everything. So I was like, yeah, sure. And then I want to say, I'm going to be honest, like a day ago, I was like, wait a minute, I have to do a call and I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. So I called her today and I'm like, hey, so about that call, like, where do I fit in? So she explained to me what she wanted to talk about. And I thought right away, I said, you know what? This exercise I want to do with you guys is going to be perfect for what she's going to talk about. Because let me tell you, when she was telling me what the things that she has prepared for you guys, I mean, it's some good, juicy stuff. I mean, she's got some good nuggets there. So I hope you guys have pen and paper, and I'm going to ask you guys to grab pen and paper now because we're going to get a little interactive, like she said. Now, the reason why I wanted to do this was because when you guys are going to get the training, okay, when you guys are going to listen, when you guys are going to, intake whatever she's saying, I want you guys to use this to self-reflect. So I don't want you guys to look at this and go, oh my gosh, okay, you know what, everything that they said, I should be doing, I'm not doing, I'm scoring, 1s and 2s and 3s. And you know what? This is not for me. Forget it. I give up. That's not what I want you guys, to take out of this. If you guys have to all understand. I mean, this is something that you are taught, you learn. And the only way you are going to master it is if you consistently and failing do it. You're going to fail, okay? That failing is inevitable. So get that through, like get tough skin, because don't get me wrong, failing sucks and it feels bad and it just, it hurts. But you need to fail and you need to feel those struggles in order to get thick skin and to be able to bulldoze through the crap, because you're going to get crap in your life, okay? You're going to get crap in this business, and this business is not rainbows and sunshines all the time. So if that's what you guys are thinking that like this is, don't get me wrong, this business is easy, okay? The idea, the concept, what we have to do is easy, but you're going to be on emotional roller coaster, okay? One day you wake up, you're happy, you don't know why, you're excited, everything's going great. The next day you wake up and it's like, you know, the stars and the moon is not aligned correctly, and you're just having a crappy day, and like you find yourself quickly spiraling into this like darkness, and you just don't know how to shine some light into it, you're not alone. Okay, so I want you guys to understand, when that happens, you guys reach out to your coach, reach out to your friends, reach out to somebody so that we can just go in there, grab you and take you out and be like, okay, get back on the wagon. Okay, so I want you guys, I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want you to be sincere to yourself. I want you to be honest with yourself. And the reason why is because, again, I don't want you to look at it and then get discouraged. It's not for you to get discouraged. This is something that always stuck with me. If you feel like you have no more room to grow, or that you know everything there is to know, then at that moment is when you stop progressing, okay? You stop growing. So you guys have to understand, this is not something that you learn, you mastered it, you get the t-shirt and you're done. No, this is something that you consistently have to keep moving forward. So you're going to have to, every single day, again, this road can take us so far, okay? So far. And no matter what, as long as you guys are able to learn, you'll grow, okay? So with that being said, I'm going to ask a couple questions, and again, answer them truthfully. And I would ask that some of you guys answer in the comments, because I want you guys to see that you're not alone, okay? You're not alone in this. You're not the only ones that have, 2s, 3s, 4s, When this exercise was done to me at first, I got off the call and I looked at it and I was like, geez, I got a lot of crap to work on, So that's what I want you guys to take out of this. And then once you look at that, and then once you get what Michelle has brought to the table and Tabitha, this is where you guys are going to grow. Okay, so this is one of those steps that we're gonna move forward. Okay, so don't focus on the negative. Focus on the gap that you need to work on to get to where you want to get to. So, number 1, on a scale 1 to 10, okay, how true are you being product of the product? So a 1 is like, what's the container system? That would be a 1. Okay, if you don't know what the container system is, like, put a 1. Okay, 10 would be like, man, I follow it to the T. I meal prep. I'm eating super, super healthy. I work out, not every day, because we're not, we have a life too. I'm consistent, and I have results, because let's be true to ourselves. Okay, if you're getting results, that means you're doing it right. It's science, unless you have a medical reason, but it's science. Okay, if you're eating the right things, you should be eating the right time. You should be eating it. I hate the scale. Your inches, your measurements, you will have evidence. You will have proof. So the question is, are you proof of the product for Vital Behaviors? So I saw some 9s. I saw some 7s. Need to knuckle down on my nutrition. Yes, Barb. Honestly, I tell people, if you tell me you don't have any time in the day to work out, I'm okay with that. I'd rather you focus on your nutrition than focus on your exercising. Don't get me wrong. Exercising is an instant gratification. I explain that to people. The reason why exercising is so important is it's important, but we get that instant gratification because we get a shot of endorphins, right? And we feel good. And we're creatures that we like instant gratification, right? What we don't like is what it takes us a long time, which is the nutrition part. The little baby steps finally come a long way, and we finally see it. So we're impatient when it comes to that. So I tell people, I'd rather you focus on your nutrition, okay? And if you can get your exercise here and there, that's fine. But nutrition is key, guys. If you can get your challengers to hone in on the nutrition, you guys will get results. And when you get results, you get momentum. You get people onto your team. You get people that believe. So, okay. I saw some 7s. 9, meal planning and my only, shortfall? Oh, meal planning is my only shortfall. I'm guilty there too. I don't meal plan. I'm going to be honest though, I have the 21-day fix memorized. So it's a lifestyle for me. I can honestly say I have a lifestyle. So I'm able to explain that to people when people talk to me. Yeah, Michelle, it's to the point like it's second nature for me. I don't even need to like check the phone or count my containers. I literally can count my containers in my head. If you're there, I would say I don't consider myself a 10 because I always have room to grow. But I consider myself, I would say an 8. I would say a nice, good old 8. Always room to grow. Yes. Okay. So number 2, how consistent are you adding to your social media? Guys, think of social media. Think of Facebook. Think of Instagram as a storefront. Okay, this is a storefront. Now, people are constantly walking by. How often are you? Oh, hold on. Yeah, we're consistent on social media. Okay, how often are you grabbing people and bringing them into your store? How often are you like waving down like sale signs? Okay, how often are you intentionally trying to grab people into your store? So, one being you add people, like you add 1 to 2 people once in a blue moon, that would be a 1. So if you're like scrolling and you go through your, mutual friends and you go, oh yeah, you know what? I need to add people today. I'll add you, and then you don't do it in like 3 or 4 days. I would say that's a 1 or a 2. Okay. 10 being that you add 3 to 5 people daily. Okay. 3 to 5 people daily. So personally, me, and I'm going to give you guys a quick way of me. Sorry? Oh, somebody has their phone unmuted. Please mute your phone. Thank you. Okay. So, I am big on mom groups. Now, don't get me wrong, I've been kicked out of a million of them. Who's been kicked out of mom groups? Like jerks, like seriously. I was like offended. How dare you kick me out? Rude. So I've learned a loophole, and I don't share anything that has to do with me trying to recruit people. I sincerely share stretch marks. I sincerely share like loving my kids or whatnot. And anybody that likes it, like it has to do with fitness, and it has to do with, because if I have stretch marks, or if I talk about like, one post that got a lot of people that liked, I said, oh my God, today the kids would not stop fighting in the car. This was a well-needed workout. Who works out when they're stressed out? And I got like 500 people comment in one of those mom groups. What did I do? Add. Those were people that I started adding to my Facebook. Okay, so that's what I mean by adding. So if you're doing something like that, so go ahead, let me see some numbers. How would you rate yourself consistently adding people to your Facebook? How do you get to those groups? You have to look for them. 6, okay, a 6, so a 4, a 10, nice Barb, 6, 8, okay. Hold on, I have an intruder.
I'm playing with my puppy.
Okay, can you play with the puppy outside and give me about 30 more minutes?
No, I'm playing with my puppy.
Oh, okay, then go put her in the cage, because she's going to bite my feet. Sorry, we got a puppy. God, this is like real life, guys. Come on, baby, I'm going to close the door. I love you. Thank you. Sorry. Hashtag mom life, right? Okay, so number 3, on a 1 to 10, how consistent are you conversing with people on social media? Now, remember, this is when I say like talking to people and building relationships, I don't mean vomit on them Beachbody. That's not what I mean. I'm talking about it doesn't have to be about Beachbody. How consistent are you saying, oh my goodness, your daughter looks so big, God bless her. Or private messaging, I saw your post today. Thank you. I really needed that today. That is, you're building a relationship. Okay. You don't realize it. But when they say build a relationship, they don't mean like call them up for coffee and like go be their BFFs. No, I'm sorry. That's not what at least that's not how I take it. I take it as like start building, something. If I see something that's eye appealing and I'm being sincere, like to me, like I sincerely like, God, I love that post. Somebody today, she posted something about like depression and, how to like seek God and whatnot. And to me, that spoke to me. And I messaged her privately and I said, you know what? Thank you so much. You have no idea, but that really like touched me. And then we started conversing, like right there. We just started, oh my God, hey. And then she commented on me, hey, like, I see that you do all that fitness stuff, pretty cool. And I said, yeah. I left it at that. I didn't even say, join my team. No, in due time, I'm good. Like, if you like jump on people, like, they're gonna feel that. I've noticed that. And don't get me wrong, I've done it. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1, you like pictures randomly, or 10, you private message about 5 people a day. So how would you rate yourself? Meaningful conversations, yes. 8, Tabitha, nice. 8 to 9. Wow, okay. 6 to 7. 3, and that's true. A 1. So meaning like you like people's pages, but you don't go out of your way to comment or to message them. So those guys, again, we're all on different chapters in our journey, and it's okay. And I'm doing this exercise because I want you guys to realize you're not alone. We all have room to grow. Yes, Gina, 7 to 8. That's about, I would say me, I'm at about a 7. I think I can do better at that. All right, so next question. How consistent are you showing up daily, breadcrumbing your story? This is where I had my storefront. Scratch the storefront before. Okay, so how consistent are you showing up every day to your job? You guys, you have to understand this is a job. Just like you go to your job every single day from, 9 to 5, whatever in my case, 9 to like 6, okay? How often are you showing up for Beachbody? And I don't mean like every single day you vomit your muscles and you flex and no. I'm talking about like talk about, gosh, today for the first time in a long time, I get to go out on a date with my husband, once upon a time, money was this tight, and thanks to the Beachbody opportunity, like here I am, it's the little things in life. Or, 3 years ago, I would never imagine to be in a bikini. Oh my goodness, bull, the thought would disgust me. And here I am today in a bikini. That's breadcrumbing your story. It doesn't have to be in a book, okay? I'm sorry, but I have like a short attention span and I read short. So I honestly like look to see, and if it's too long, I'll read the skim and then that's it. So breadcrumbing your story is really important. So how consistent are you showing up daily to your Beachbody job? 6. A 6. Jen says a 6. I show up every day, but I don't breadcrumb my story very well. You know what, Debbie? Neither did I. I was showing up every day and I was posting and I was saying, look at me, or, and I never put feelings into it. And not until recently. I learned this, again, guys, and I want you guys to understand something. These team calls are so crucial and they may feel repetitive, but I want you to know that I have been on a million of these calls. And how is it that just recently, after I've been a coach for over 2 years, how is it just now I've finally had that, sketched in my head? Wait a minute, I'm not breadcrumbing my stories. Crap, but I've heard it like a million times. These calls, every single time you do a call, you get into a call, you'll get a golden nugget out of it. So there you go, Debbie. I started breadcrumbing my story. So I went from, look at my new shirt, woo, how cool, to, oh my gosh, once upon a time I could not fit in a shirt this size. Check out this shirt. God, this feels amazing. Add feeling to it. Breadcrumb your story. So that's what that means. So, any other numbers? Anybody else want to share? How would you rate yourself consistently showing up? GoPro, an 8 to 9, Michelle. You're really good at that. I'm not going to lie. I stalk you. I'm sorry. I stalk you a lot. Okay, so Next question. How much time do you dedicate to personal development daily? Okay, not weekly, not monthly, daily. Personal development is daily. So, one, I randomly listen to PD, scrolling through Facebook, somebody posts a PD. Oh, let me check on that. That's a 1 to 10. I listen to PD 10 to 15 minutes daily, and I'm consistently like with one book. So let's see. Go ahead, guys. I'm sorry. I wasn't 10, 1. And let me tell you guys, I was there at one point. How many of you guys thought PD was for like wussies, or PDs were for like sad people, or PD were for like people that like don't have it together? I was that person, guys. I was that person that thought that PD was that mushy crap, and I don't have time for that. I'm not a mushy person. I'm really not. I don't know what Beachbody has done to me, but like, I cry now. It's super weird. I didn't know what tears felt like. So 10 minutes, unless I buy a new one. Okay, yes, guys. PD is you know those emotional roller coasters that we go through? You want to learn how to, it's okay, because those emotional roller coasters are normal. They're inevitable. They're going to happen. You're going to fall into random, I don't even know why I'm sad, depressions, and all I want to do is eat a tub of ice cream and like go like, you know, cry myself to sleep. I don't know why I feel that way sometimes too, and I do. But when that happens, PD is the only thing that's going to get you out of it. Personally, me, that's how I feel. Getting a hold of some real good PD, listening to it, or grabbing my book, or in my case, you know, I like to grab these, you know, I have like these all around my houses, you know. I'm sorry, but that's what gets me grounded. That's what gets me back into that, to shine some light into my darkness. So guys, somebody's unmuted. If you can mute yourself, please. So guys, personal development, there's a reason why it's one of the 4 vital behaviors. It's a must. It's a necessary. And if you're not at I would say a 7 or 8 in personal development, then before you can get anything else in your business going, I think you need to start focusing on getting to a 7 or an 8 in your PD. So it's the missing link. It's the missing key. So, and then last question. And you guys, again, I want you guys to keep this with you, because once we're done with Michelle, I want you guys to look at these numbers, and then I want you guys to see, okay, I'm here. What do I need to do with the things that Michelle and Tabitha just explained or just taught? How can I get to, you know, whatever other number? So how consistent are you in inviting? Okay, meaning how consistent are you weekly inviting people to challenge group? How consistent are you inviting people to the coach opportunity? So I would say all of this stuff that you're doing here, all of your adding people on social media, you know, breadcrumbing your story, those are all jabs, okay? We're constantly, all the time, jabbing at people. You know, my workout, I felt so great today. For the first time, I was able to do 10 push-ups. That's a jab, okay? For the first time, I was able to go out to dinner with my husband thanks to the Beachbody opportunity. That's a jab, okay? You guys got to bring in the right hook. And the way to bring in your right hook is by doing a post that says, join me, join my team. Want to turn your fitness into business? Are you looking to, you know, shed some weight? I'm here. I can help you. Let me help you. Bring in those right hooks, okay? So how often are you bringing in right hooks? I would say a 1 would be like once in a blue moon, like, oh, when I remember to do it. And a 9 or a 10 would be you're consistently, you know, every Sunday you do a coaching one, every Tuesday you do a challenge group one, every Wednesday you do a coaching one. Like, I would say something consistent like that would be, you know, a 9 or 10. So how often are you throwing those right hooks? And it's not just challenge group right hooks. It's business opportunity, guys, because we want to attract both types of we want to give people the opportunity to pick. We want to give them the opportunity to choose. There's a business about this. There's, oh, you know what? I just want to do the challenge group, 4 to 5. Thursday throwbacks. Yes. Transformation Tuesdays. Those are perfect to invite people. You know, hey, check out this girl, my last month's challenge group. She did amazing. Check out her, transformation. Hey guys, join my team. You know, those are right hooks. So, okay, guys, with that being said, look at your numbers. All right, just look at them. And again, I don't want you to look at them and get discouraged. This is not for you to go, oh, you know what? I'm not at an 8, 9, and 10. You know, I'm in the 1s and 2s and 3s and 4s. You know what? This business must not be for me. No, this business is for you. Okay? There is these calls that we're doing are intentional for growth. Okay? So we all were at that place. Monica said this recently, and it's kind of stuck with me, that I guess it was John Maxwell. He said, I'm tired of people always saying born natural leaders. She said this the other day, and I just stuck with me. She's like, when a baby's born, they don't go, oh, it's a girl, oh, it's a boy, oh, it's a leader. That doesn't exist, guys. So it's not natural born leader. People are grown into leadership. People are taught. People, we have that fire within, and we actually do something about it, okay? Because there are people that are okay with just like riding the waves of life, but you guys are not those people, because if you were those people, you would not be on this call. So you're here for a reason. But with that being said, guys, I want you guys to look at these numbers, and once Michelle and Tab are done, I want you to go back to these numbers, and I want you to say, okay, if I'm at a 2, what do I need to do to get to a 5? And then what do I need to do to get to a 7? And then what do I need to do to get to a 10? So go, take it away, Michelle.
Thank you, Beto. That was awesome. Amazing stuff. As you were just talking about checking your numbers, really like analyzing them, had me thinking, because there comes to a point where, we all start a lot with our warm market, the majority of us, and reaching out to the people we already know. And I remember for me, I started April of 2016, and in September, I hit Success Club every single month. I even hit Success Club for me and my husband the first 3 months. We both were success starters. Like, I was on fire, and September came. So I was 6 months in, 7 months in, something like that. And I had Success Club 0. And that month was like a turning point for me, because that was the month that I could say, okay, you know what? My warm market's done. And I pretty much suck now, so I'm just going to throw in the towel. And I'm really glad she did this reflection, because it's so important. We're always going to hit roadblocks. We're always going to kind of feel like we're one day, like she said, one day's going to suck, one day's going to be great. And when that starts to happen, at least for me, when I've had speed bumps, I stop and I say, okay, instead of saying to myself, man, this girl, didn't come through, or this didn't come through, and that didn't come through. I never say that. First, I tell myself, you know what, if that didn't go through, then it wasn't for me. That's number 1. And number 2, I stop and I'm like, what can I do better? Because that's the only way. I'm the only person in control of things that are happening. I can't control whether she clicked submit on her order or not. I can't control what other people are doing. But what I can control is how hard I work the next month, or what am I going to do to make myself grow and learn more, how to be better at this. So with all that said, I'm going to share my screen and show you this presentation I made. Here we go. Wait, no, not that. Okay, all right, cool. Can everybody see this? Give me thumbs up. Awesome. Okay, so as you know, I put this together because I want to help everybody get organized. And most importantly, I want you guys to learn how to use your time efficiently, because we all have the same amount of time in the day. and we all have different schedules. So something that I'm doing or when I do it may not necessarily work for you, but everybody has to get the same type of stuff done. You're going to have to figure out all these things that I'm going to teach you. When is the best time to do them? I can't tell you that. You have to figure that part out. And it took me a long time to figure it out, what works and what doesn't work for me. And then in some days it's different. Okay, so the first few things I wanted to go over are the behaviors for burnout. And I'm talking about stuff like, and I'm guilty of all this stuff, scrolling Facebook, scrolling Instagram with no purpose, and if you happen to interact with people during your scrolling, you're not tracking it, because every like and every comment you made should be getting tracked, guys. Working on the fly. This is what I was talking about when we started the call, and how I have felt for a long time. And that's like feeling like you're on, like every minute, every single day. Like I remember, Veronica, you were talking about the other night, even during dinner, you know, you have moments where you feel like you're still on. Or if you're at your kids', I don't know, practice for something, you feel like you're on. That's not a good feeling. When I went to Summit last year, I did a workshop, and I will never forget one of the presenters. It was a husband and wife, and I remember them talking about this, and I remember them using this term, working on the fly, and their exact words were, it is not sustainable for your business. It might get you to a certain point, but it's not gonna last. You're gonna, and if you do get far in your business working on the fly, I remember them saying that you're gonna always be scattered. Like if you're doing it now early on in your business scattered, and as you grow, and you're still gonna be scattered. So the key is to work on getting a little bit more organized early on so it follows you. All right. And not being present in the moment. So I kind of just touched on this. I used to do this a lot because, like I said, I'm a nurse. So I work 12-hour shifts in a pediatric emergency room. So it can get very busy. And I remember, you know, I take care of children. You know, I take care of their lives. I give medications. So I have to be like there, you know what I mean? And Beachbody was like always on my mind, always on my mind, always on the mind. Thank God I've never, you know, had any mistakes or anything, but I sit back and I reflect like, oh my gosh, like I need to be where I am, because one, the type of job that I do if my mind is somewhere else and I'm not paying attention, it could cause harm to somebody. And why are there like circles? Does anybody know why there's like writing on this? It's so weird. Okay, anyways, I don't know who's doing that. But okay, so back where I was saying. So yeah, at work, and sneaking into the bathroom, I'm not gonna lie, I still do that. I sometimes, like, if I really need to answer somebody, or if I need to do a post, I'll sneak into the bathroom at work. But on the days that I'm at work, my social media is very basic. Or if it's an important day, I try my best to plan the day before. I can't see any of your comments right now, so I'll go back to them after. But so when I'm at work 12 hours, 7 to 7, my social media is pretty basic. I make sure I'm posting minimum 3 times when I'm at work. But I really have tried to hone in on, you know, being where I am when I'm there. And another recipe for disaster. Just being scattered with your tracking, names here, names there, names in this folder, names in this spreadsheet. That was me for a long time as well. And so doing all these things, I felt like when it was time to invite people, I felt like it was very awkward because I wasn't tracking well. My follow-ups were poor with my non-Beachbody conversations. So when I went to send that invite, even though I kind of talked to you, it still felt very awkward. And I didn't like that feeling because I don't want it to feel that way. I want it to be genuine. I really want, and you guys also want these invites to not feel like weird. You know, you want them to respect you, and you want them to value what you're inviting them to. And so, yeah, one of the other things that I would do is I wasn't tracking well, and I would, like, if it was like crunch time, like the end of the month, I would like go through all my messenger and all my texts, like crazy and send like, I don't know how many invites, like boom, 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 boom. And just by going through Messenger and trying to like find the people that I was talking to. And that was so stressful that I was like, I can't keep doing this. Like it felt, I wasn't enjoying this process by doing that. So these are all the things that I've been through and maybe some of you guys are feeling. And now I'm going to turn it over and, try to figure out how to work through some of these things and make this work for you. So the first thing I wanted to touch on and just go over a little review, and all these things that I'm going to touch on next are stuff you should have gotten in New Coach University or some type of coach basics. And the first thing is, everybody, you got to have your ducks in a row. Whether you're Instagram, Facebook, or both, you need to have your profile public. I remember for Instagram, for I don't know how many months it was, I wasn't public, and I was like, man, like I only got like 10 likes, 15 likes, maybe 20. And then it was hard to get, new followers, and I couldn't figure out why. And then and then, to be honest, I'm trying to remember, but I think I knew I wasn't public, and I didn't really understand the importance of it because I didn't understand Instagram. So, but when I realized how powerful Instagram can be, I went public. But one of the reasons I was scared at first to go public was like maybe a lot of new coaches may fear is, people seeing my kids. And even though I was public on Facebook, I don't know why Instagram just was a whole like different breed for me. I didn't understand it. Also, it scared me more. But once I went public, like, oh my gosh, things just got better and better and better, and started learning how to use it. Things have gotten way better with Instagram. Okay, other things you should be doing. And some of these things Veronica's touched on, but being consistent with your own health and fitness. You have to be proof of the product, because if you're not proof of the product, nobody's going to trust you, nobody's going to believe you, and they're not going to take you seriously. Because most of the time when you're starting this, people are, especially the ones that already know you, they're just waiting and watching, and waiting mostly to see how long you're going to last. So if you're not consistent, people are not going to take you seriously at all. And is your feed giving off positive vibes? So a lot of times, especially when you're requesting people that you don't really know, I've had this happen to me multiple times. I request someone I don't really know. Maybe we have like a mutual friend or two in common. They go and they check out my Instagram or Facebook, and they're like, man, because when they accept my request, I tell them, hey, thanks for accepting my request. And they write back a few times. I've had this. They're like, man, normally I don't accept requests of people I don't know, but I love the energy on your page. I love the positive vibes. I'm looking forward to following you. That's because they went 1, 2, 3 on my Facebook, and they're like, boom, boom, boom. Like, this looks, like I love the energy. If you're like reposting stuff that other people post, if you're just giving no value to your feed, people are not going to find you interesting, and they're not gonna stay friends with you. And then Instagram they say that it's like the first block, those first 9 photos on Instagram, I mean, you gotta have good stuff there, because when people see that, that's the first thing they see. And if you've got dull pictures, if you have like the same type of stuff posted over, every single picture is one of your kid, or every single picture is a flexing, you know what I mean? You have to give it variety. It has to be good content. So that's something else you need to, these are all the things you should already be doing, having, positive vibes on your feed. And then, in the last year, I've done so many trainings, but to help you, and what really helped me figure out like who I am is Monica and Arlene Pino. Monica and Arlene Pino did an amazing workshop called Tell, Don't Sell. And you guys have to watch this if you haven't watched it already. And this is going to really help you hone in on who you are, what your interests are, and figuring out what type of vibe you're going to be giving off on your social media. And, and they kind of go into making lists of things that are in your life that interest you, or even things that you don't know about, that you want to learn more about. That workshop is going to help you out a ton. So check it out. And you obviously can't click on this, but what I'll do is in the comments in the team page, I'll post all these links, because I'm going to give you a couple other links to some trainings that really, really stuck out to me over the last year. All right, so these are the things that you should be, so you kind of know what you should be doing. Then kind of here's like how your month should look, right? You should be adding friends and followers. You should be having these non-Beachbody conversations. And then once you get comfortable, or when you think the time is right, and sometimes the time is right, sometimes you just got to go for it. You invite to your challenge groups. Then your rockstar challengers, you're converting to coaches. Then you're teaching your new coaches how to duplicate, and it's wash, rinse, and repeat. Sounds simple, right? Like boom, boom, boom. But it's like, yeah, I could do that. But it's like, wait. And then you get to figuring out all the little parts to this. And that's where we're going to get into how you're going to do all these things, because this is the goal, right? This is like the vital process right here. And now it's like, how do we implement this, and how do we become successful at it? So a couple of things that are working for me is I started to do these behaviors when I can sit down and track it. So if that means I can only do this for 30 minutes for the whole day, an hour for the whole day, when I sit down and do it, the quality of my work, even if it's only 30 minutes to an hour a day, is so much 10 times better than me trying to do all these things all day long and then going back at night and sitting down and try to write everyone's name down and trying to track it. I felt like I was doing double the work. And guess what? When that would happen, I wouldn't track anyone's name, because by the end of the day, I was so exhausted that nobody would get tracked and I would get lost. So whatever, you got to figure out whatever time works for you. You have to, now what works for me is at nighttime. And my kids go to school, and even the little ones in preschool. And I just found that I work out on my days off, because when I'm at work, like I said, I'm there 12 hours, but on my days off, when I thought I had more time, the kids go to school, I'm working out, I'm cooking, laundry, doing stuff around the house. I go, oh my God, I feel like I'm here 6 hours alone, and my time slipped by, and I barely could get I couldn't get that much Beachbody work in, as much as I at least wanted to. So I found that once I put them to bed, like everything else was done, and I could focus an hour or two on the business, and it was like quality work. And that's what's working well for me. So you got to find when that time is going to be for you, where you could focus. Some people, depends on how if your day job is, if you're still working, you may have to work in pockets, and you got to figure out how that would work for you. But whatever pocket you work on, like I just said, you have to make it quality. You have to track your stuff right away. And let's see. Another thing that I started doing, as messages come in, if you haven't been tracked in my book, I don't open your message and I don't answer you, because if I open your message and I'm about to go start an IV on a patient, guess what? You're lost, and God knows if I'm going to find you. And same thing when I'm at home with the kids. If I'm about to sit down and eat dinner, I open up your message. I can't be like, wait, guys, and make my whole family wait while I answer somebody, whatever it is. You know what I mean? That's something that's working well for me. And that was hard, because especially when you first start as a coach, you just, oh my God, you want to answer everybody, because you don't want to lose them. And as time goes, you become a lot more confident. And I have just realized and said to myself, people are going to learn to wait. I usually get back to everybody within 24 hours. And there are certain situations that if it's like an active prospect, like they need to order that day, I will pay more. I give them more of my time. You got to figure out, everybody needs to be replied to, but you have to figure out what's top priority. Right? So, yeah, I think I got my point across on that. And another thing I started doing like the last month or two, oh my gosh, like notifications on Facebook up the wazoo. And like, guys, maybe I don't know something, but I get notifications like when some people post like in a mom group that I'm in. I know I could shut those mom group notifications off, or like a buy and sell group. I know I could probably shut them off, and then there's other notifications for tons of stuff like that. Really, I don't need to check. And I mean, I can have like 30, 40, 50 notifications at once. And I'm just like, I'm OCD, I'm type A. So you know how they're like highlighted? right? When you open up your notifications, I felt like if I didn't open and they all turned white, every single one of them, I felt like anxiety. I don't know, that's some people that may happen to or not. And I would literally spend like a good amount of time making sure I open every single one of those notifications. And now I don't. Now I can see everyone can see this on, especially on Facebook, like what the notification is. And if it's something that I need to open up right away, I open it. Like if it's an alert, like for a call, or if it's alert, somebody tagged me on something, maybe I'll check it. I can always go back and check those, it depends on what I'm doing at the moment. But notifications, like if it's important, I'll open it. And again, like I said, people will learn to wait. All right, so now, who are you going to do all these behaviors with? The first thing that you have to do is you have to know your attraction market. And those are people that you can relate to. And going back to the workshop that Arlene and Monica did, Tell, Don't Sell, that's where you have to go and that workshop's going to help you figure out who your attraction market is. Like for an example, me, for me, these are things that I wrote down. I still have it in one of my notes from that call. I wrote down, I'm a teen mom. I had my first baby when I was 18 years old. I'm a firefighter wife. I'm a pediatric nurse. I'm a nurse. What are other things? My daughter, one of my daughters has celiac disease. So those are things that are part of my life. There's tons more, but I love pink. So that, again, going back to that Tell, Don't Sell, that will really help you figure out who you are and who your attraction market is. Okay, so another thing that I saw training on that I actually just added in right when the call started, it popped in my head. I saw training on a coach. She explained how she goes, if you're trying to figure out who to talk to, this is aside from adding new people to your network. I like this idea a lot, and I don't do it every day, but I do it sometimes. Like I have like over 1,000 people on Facebook, and I know I probably haven't talked to everybody. So one thing that this particular coach explained is she goes from A to Z, right? So she'll go into her friends list and she'll start on the A's, and she'll go to X, however many people you want to talk to a day. If your goal is 3, you go to 3. If your goal is 10, 20, 30, whatever, you start from the letter A, whether it's their first name or last name, however you want. And you work your way down and you open up that person's profile and you scroll up a couple scrolls and you see what they're up to. If their profile kind of looks like dead, I may not, and it looks like they haven't been on social media in a while, I probably will skip them. But if it looks like they're on pretty often, I'll look at something there and I'll like a couple posts or comment on one, and I'll go and I'll start a conversation with them privately. Hey, I saw you went to Disney World. How was it? We love Disney. Oh, that's another one of my attraction markets. Disney. We're Disney fanatics. So that's one method, going A to Z on your Facebook friend list. Another is, so adding to your network. When it comes to Facebook, typically what I do, basic stuff, nothing crazy. I know there's other methods out there and there's like pages and stuff, but like the basic stuff off your private account is just going to like an old high school friend and that you're already friends with, and then going to their friends and seeing if there's anybody mutual that you remember, an acquaintance from high school. If you're like Veronica said, if you're in mom groups, honestly, I don't even need to touch on it. She went through that brilliantly. How to make the most of the groups that you're in, whether it's a mom group or for a mom group or whatever group you are in. And if you're not in one, get in some. And the way she rolled that out was brilliant. And okay, so now when we talk about hashtags on Instagram, I swear guys, I didn't even know what a freaking hashtag was for like many, many months. And I remember telling Monica this and she was like, what, you gotta be kidding me. If you don't know, for number one, you can have you can do at least 30 hashtags per post, if you didn't know that. And number two, hashtags are how people can find you and how you can find people. I had no clue. I thought hashtags was like the cool thing to say, like the young kids did, hashtag, whatever. But So yeah, so you can, when you put hashtags on your post and whatever it's relating to, like if I do something about my daughter with her celiac disease, I'll post I'll put gluten-free, celiac mom, or if it's a post about me being a firefighter wife, I'll use a lot of those hashtags, and it doesn't all have to be fitness and fit mom related. Also food pictures, food photography, food porn, whatever. Is people look up this stuff, and when they look up the hashtags, it brings them to your Instagram account, and some people will start following you because of that. And I hope I'm not getting ahead of myself, but now that we're on hashtags, another thing that I do is, when somebody starts following me that I really don't know who they are, I check out their page, and if they are somebody that interests me, I'll request them back. If it's private, I'll send them a message: thanks for the follow, I just requested you, and I love connecting, with positive people, and I hope to chat soon. Hopefully they'll accept my request. And if they are public, I'll scroll through their feed and I'll follow them back, and I'll private message them right away. Hey, thanks for the follow. I saw that you're into XYZ. I'll start making the conversation with them. And then the last thing about who you're going to connect with: real life, guys, real life. Beachbody has made me a very social person. I mean, I never was like antisocial, but I definitely wasn't as outgoing as I am now. So for an example, like one of my daughters goes to Girl Scouts. I've gotten to know the moms there. I didn't, when I first met them, say Beachbody. Like, I didn't even have any of them on. So my daughter's been in Girl Scouts since like the beginning of the school year. So last fall, and they're not all of them were kind of my people. So I didn't really click with them at first, but as the year went on, I started getting to know them, and it took me a while before I even started looking for them or adding them out on social media. And I have a few of them now, and we've gotten to know each other better, and they see what I do. But real life, even if you're like in the grocery store, and yeah, maybe you'll never talk to that person again, just start practicing talking to people. Hey, how's your day? Or, hey, I saw that you have this in your cart. We love to eat that. Maybe you'll never see them again, but it's just getting you in the groove of communicating and talking to people. Let's see. Oh, another thing, and I remember Arlene Pino actually said this on a call. One thing she did is, and I did this recently with the Girl Scouts. So I posted something about my daughter and her vest, her Girl Scout vest, and I finally put all the patches on. And I tagged her Girl Scout troop leader on the post. And whoever liked that post that were not friends of mine, that had maybe people from her feed, whoever liked it or commented, I engaged back with them and I friend requested them. So that's another idea of how you can start building relationships with other people you don't know already. All right, so we keep talking about these non-Beachbody conversations, right? And the first thing I wanted to touch on here is these new friends or followers. I track, if somebody, like I said, if somebody follows me and I follow them back, I track their name right away, because the moment you follow me back, I start engaging with you, whether it's liking, commenting, or private messaging. I do all of it. I don't do it like every single post, everything, but I'll like 2 posts, I'll make a comment on one, and then I'll shoot the private message. And I do that with that person for a period of easily 1 to 2 weeks, and we start getting to know each other. And another cool thing that I do, and I've been doing it for a very long time, is Facebook always notifies you of people's birthdays. And so every day, this is part of my routine, I go to the birthdays and I send everybody, not on their feed. I go privately PM them, hey, just wanted to wish you a happy birthday. Sometimes I'll also say, how are you going to spend the day? Or if it's late in the night, I'll say, how did you spend your day? Sometimes I'll just say, hey, wanted to wish you a happy birthday. And they'll say, hey, thanks so much. And then I'll ask them, I hope you had a great day. How'd you spend it? What'd you do? But somehow or another, whether it's 1 or 2 messages, I'll always make sure I ask them a question. And all right, so. And, you know, all these conversations are so important because it's going to help you not feel spammy. And I so like spammed a lot of people when I first started. Like, I didn't talk to you from like 5th grade. I was like, hey, you know, I have this challenge group. Are you interested? Like, I'm doing this fitness thing. So I've come a long way. And these are all the things that I've been doing to do that. You got to remember, this is a relationship building business. And like I said earlier, people aren't gonna just, not everyone's just gonna join you if they don't know you. They got to get to know you. They got to trust you. You got to flip the script around and think about you. I mean, I remember my own sister one time asked me, I think I commented on her post, or a challenge, a free challenge, she said, and I think I made a comment or liked it, and she private messaged me. And she's like, hey, you want to join my group? And I was like, first of all, why are you private messaging me, number one? And why aren't you texting me or calling me? You're my sister. I didn't get what she was doing. And even my own sister, it was awkward. So imagine a stranger. So you got to think about what these people think when you ask them this stuff and you haven't built that relationship with them. Am I doing good so far? Give me a thumbs up. All right, cool. All right, I know we're going a little over. I'm gonna try to wrap it up. Okay, so again, I have a few slides here that are conversation starters for you if you guys don't know what to say to people. And if you like, I can like shoot over like a document with some of these that I use. But a few things that I say is like, hey girl, thanks so much for following or accepting my request. I love connecting with other nurses and positive women. And the energy on your feed is uplifting. Looks like you've got kids. How old are they? Or looks like you went on vacation. I kind of went over this stuff already. Oh, you're a nurse. What field are you in? How long have you been a nurse? So just things to get the ball rolling. Another one is, hey, this is the birthday one. Hey, happy birthday, happy Mother's Day, happy anniversary, congrats on graduating, whatever they're celebrating. Private message them, ask them how they enjoyed it, how they spend the day. Always end in a question. Okay, so other avenues. Anybody that likes, reply to people who, okay, so anybody that's liking your post or commenting on your post, especially if they're commenting, engage them on the comment section as well, because Facebook has an algorithm thing, and it puts your post at the top, and more people are going to see your stuff if there's more engagement on your post. And anybody that likes or comments, I engage them in the comment section, and sometimes I'll also go and engage them privately. And anybody that likes my stuff, I also engage them privately. Another thing I started doing is Instagram stories. Guys, if you are not comfortable with Instagram yet, get comfortable, because it's huge. And a lot of my stuff, people that I work with are also coming from Instagram. And people that even have Facebook, but they're on Instagram more. So once I get to know them, I add them to Facebook as well. But I'm meeting a lot of people on Instagram. So trying to use the best I can. I'm using the stories. And I don't know if you haven't used stories, you can see everybody that watches your story. So people that you have like never talked to, or people that you'd be surprised who's watching your stories. People that have never liked your comment are watching your stories. So it's just another avenue for people that are actually looking at what you're doing, and you can start up a friendly conversation with them. Another one. Hey girl, thanks so much for liking my post. I truly appreciate it when others support my journey and send good vibes my way. Are you on a health journey too? Or love the energy on your page. Scroll something like I said already. I kind of went over this, and start forming with them. If you guys don't know what forming is, now you're going to know. Forming is family, occupation, recreation, and sending them a message. This is, if you have to, this happens to me. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, what do I talk to this person about? I'm like, okay, family. All right, let me talk to them about, what their family life is like, or do they have kids, or are they a fur mom, or do they have no kids, I try to find something to talk to them about. Are they married? What does their husband do? Occupation, what do they do for a living? Recreation, so if I kind of get through all that stuff, and I'm like, okay, so what do you like to do for fun? I kind of don't say it like that. I'll say like, in your spare time, like, we love to go to Disney. Like, what do you guys like to do? And then a lot of the times, these people that you're engaging with, they will be like, hey, after a couple messages back and forth, they'll be like, hey, I noticed you were doing like that fitness stuff. And I used to be like, yeah, you want to join me? Yeah, come on. So there's another training here that you guys have to watch this. Like, it is a must. It is a training that Becky Rose, Christina Delgado, and Amy Coppola did, that they went to a leadership with Tony Robbins, and they came back with some powerful stuff that changed my business and the way I talk to people. So you have to watch this. And again, I'll post this YouTube link in our comments. So when people start, all of a sudden out of nowhere start talking about the health and fitness, you got to pump the brakes. Instead of being like, yeah, I'm a Beachbody, come join me. You have to stop, and you have to, if you haven't formed with them yet, you got to rewind and form with them. If they're cold, like, hey, I saw you doing some workout stuff. What is it? Or what's the cost of that thing you're talking about? You stop. You have to say, hey, I'm really happy that you're interested. But I really want to get to know a little bit more about you. You have to be interested in people. You can't just think of them as a sell or a successful point. You got to get to know them, because when you tell them a price, they're gonna be like, oh, that's too expensive, because you haven't gotten to know them. Number one, you haven't made that connection. And number two, you haven't shown them the value of what we have. They think it's just, another shake. And, I can YouTube a workout. So when you go through all the scripts, and we'll get into that, when you go through all the scripts and showing them the value of what we have, when you show them the price, and when it's going to be a different ballgame. And when you're asking questions about these people and getting to know them, and this training goes over this, when you're finding out what's paining them, when they say to you, I'm interested in what you're doing, however they say it, you have to say, what made you so brave enough to reach out? What are you looking, why do you need a change? What's going on in your life? Find their pain. Because when you go back and you tell them the price, and and they say, I think that's too expensive, you got to say, you know what? I remember you said X, Y, Z. If you don't do anything about it, or if you don't make a change now, what's your life going to look like in a year? So that training is amazing. You have to watch that training. All right. So there's really no right or wrong time to invite. Like I said, I usually go like 1 to 2 weeks getting to know everybody. And using the scripts, guys. If you don't know what the heck Diesel Nation scripts are, they were all revised for 2017. Our Christina and Becky have done a phenomenal job. I mean, if you haven't used them, guys, I don't know what to tell you. If you're lost, that's one of the reasons why you're lost. Oh, it says my internet is unstable. Am I good? Okay. All right. So a couple other things. I'm almost done, guys. Hey, I hope you're having a great week. I was wondering so this is like when you're going to invite. Hope you're having a great week. I was wondering if you're interested in getting some more information about one of my upcoming health and fitness virtual accountability groups. If not, totally cool. I just wanted to extend the invite. I send this to people I've been talking to for a minute, and I always give them a way out. And by the way, guys, a lot of the stuff I'm sharing with you, I didn't make this stuff up. This is training after training after training. And another big one that I did was, and I invested in this training, it was with Josh Coates, The Art of Recruiting. And I know he has a new one that came out. I haven't taken a look into it, and I will. But if you haven't checked out any of Josh Coates' stuff, Josh Coates, his stuff, you have to, because he's amazing. So that's one way I'll send an invite to all the people that I've been talking to. Or if you're talking to someone and they say, man, I've been having X and Y, Z problem lately, and I really wanted to lose weight. I'll say, and we haven't talked about anything Beachbody or anything fitness. I'll say to them hey, I actually hold monthly accountability groups for health and fitness. I don't know if you know or not, but I mean, I would love to have you in my next one. Would you like more details? So those are some of the other types of scripts I use. Again, asking questions. Or ending with a question. So magic in the follow-up. So sometimes you send messages to people and they don't respond. still write their name down. Because a week later, if they haven't responded, sometimes what I'll do to a few of the people that I think that I really, really like, I'll go back to them and I'll go to their, if they haven't responded to my private message, I'll go to their newsfeed and I'll engage on their newsfeed again, comments, likes, and sometimes they'll come back and they'll private message me and they'll be like, oh my God, I thought I wrote you back. Remember, we eat, breathe, sleep, everything Beachbody. These people, you know, not everybody is always paying it. Not everybody has Messenger too, I've realized. So flirting, yes, flirt. Monica just sent me a message. So that's pretty much what all this is. Flirting with people. Hey girl, I love your leggings that you got. I love that bikini. I love that top. Where'd you get it? Anything that you can find to engage on their newsfeed. They'll come back private. They've come back private and be like, oh my God, I completely thought I responded to you. And then we'll keep the conversation rolling. So another thing that I do to prospects that haven't responded, I will send them an exposure, meaning if I find like a transformation or not just physical, but maybe like a transformation, like if somebody's expressed to me struggles they're going with depression or something, it could be any type of exposure, I'll send them, hey, I'll send them a picture, I'll send them a video, something that I've even sent people nothing Beachbody, there's an evangelist I follow, Clayton Jennings, amazing. Sometimes like I'll watch his videos and his video will make me think of somebody I spoke to a week or two ago that's battling a very unhealthy relationship, that's battling depression or anxiety, and something that Clayton says, well, I'll think of that person and I'll send it to them. Not as a like, hey, you know, let's get our conversation going more about Beachbody, but just to let them know that I care and that I'm thinking about them. And that helps keep the conversation going. So there's all different types of exposures. There's exposures like that. There's transformation exposures like, hey, this person has your body type. They did XYZ program. I thought of you. I wanted to share it with you. Other follow-ups about people that actually like said they were going to order and they haven't. Then now I touch base. If you haven't checked out Bonnie Ingalls' scripts, I use some of her scripts too. I know Monica has them in the boardroom. Sometimes I'll say to these people like, hey, haven't seen your order come through. I just wanted to like make sure the link that I sent you is okay. And then they'll be like, oh my God, I forgot. Or, oh my God, this came up. Oh my God, that came up. And then another thing to these people, I'm sorry guys, hang on one second. My daughter's texting me. Okay. Sorry guys. Where was I? Okay. So an urgency private message. Somebody that you were also engaging with that was interested in a challenge group. Hey guys, I haven't heard from you in a while. I just wanted to, let you know, I remembered you said that you were interested because of XYZ. I've got 3 spots left or 2 spots left in my group. Are you still interested? Again, ending with a question. And then the people that have totally like fallen off the face of the earth, Bonnie Ingalls' script, it's asking for feedback. I'm not going to go into that script. I didn't post it here, but I can ask Monica to bring back up her scripts if they're hidden. And that script basically just, says like, hey, I haven't heard from you in a while. I realize this opportunity or this is not for everybody. I just wanted to like ask, for some feedback if there's anything. I talk to people all the time, so I like to, get to feedback from everybody. I can't remember it verbatim, but it's a really good script to use for those people that have fallen off the face of the earth. Okay, so kind of went over all that. My last few top tips for you guys is, to remember to create that Beachbody and life balance. I think we've kind of went over all that, and Veronica did a good job of that too. Communicating with, when you're feeling overwhelmed and like you're on 24/7, you got to communicate with your family and with your spouse. Like if you got to be on a call, you got to let them know. One thing we implemented was in my kitchen, I have like a whiteboard calendar. So we wipe it off every month and we start fresh. Every month I put all my team calls on it. I put anything that the kids have to do, anything that my husband has to do. So everybody feels like everyone's life is just as important as the Beachbody. Because I verbalize the Beachbody is gonna, help us upgrade our life and in our health and our finances in every single way. But it's just can't all be about Beachbody. Everybody has to be important. Again, I went over this, creating that out power, that time that you set a day that you really put in quality of work. Like, yeah, throughout the day, you're going to post, but sitting down and doing all the things that I just went over, you have to focus like at that time, whether it's the 30 minutes or an hour, 2 hours, whatever. The family calendar I went over. Like I said already, stop checking every single notification and all that useless scrolling. And this is something I have to do for my sanity. My phone, for the most part of the day, is on sleep mode. And that means that I don't hear, even if I have my phone on vibrate, my phone is going off like constantly, like zzz, zzz, bing, 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 bing. And it's just like a natural reaction to look at it. And when it's on sleep mode, I don't hear all of the that noise or feel that vibration. And this is literally just like for me, it's a mental thing that if I don't hear, it was driving me insane. So my phone is on sleep mode, and yes, I'm looking at it. And like, if my phone's locked, I could scroll through all the notifications. And if I see something or a message that it's something or that could be important, I'll open it and check it. But for the most part, like to keep my sanity, my phone is on sleep mode. Oh my gosh, there's 75 comments. I'm gonna get to them in a minute. Okay, and then Veronica did an amazing job already. Personal development. I didn't do personal development for a long time. I am a daughter of Christ. I'm gonna read my Bible. That's what's gonna help. My faith is what's gonna help me, get stronger. And yes, it does, and that's just as important. But I have fallen in love with personal development. I crave personal development. If I don't start my day off with personal development, I am not as good as I could be. And to be honest, like I've only gotten through completely the 10X rule, and I'm about to finish You Are a Badass, and I've touched GoPro a little, which I'm going to go back to, but in 13 months, like that's all I've done, like and completed. I've touched stuff here and there. Oh, the 12-week year, I started a little bit. So yeah, Veronica did a good job. And guys, personal development and doing all these behaviors is going to help you believe that you can actually be successful at this. And I give you permission and give yourself permission to dream big. And you literally have to, the last couple of months, I can see my future. I can visualize it. You have to visualize it, but you can't visualize it if you're not actually putting in quality time and work. It's not going to feel real, because I was doing all these things that I just talked to you guys about, but I wasn't tracking it. So I felt like I wasn't doing it. But I'm going to show you what I do to track it, but I felt I was doing it all, but I wasn't writing it down. So I felt like I was doing nothing. Hang on, guys. I got to open the door for my daughter. Thank you so much. Turn the alarm on. Okay. All right. So, and again, please be quiet, guys. Use the Diesel Nation Results Matter. And you got to make sure they sound like you. I have on Google Docs their scripts, and I have altered them to make them work for me. So you got to do the same for you. And again, here's the last link, and I'll post it. Hey, baby, say hi. This is Kayla, my oldest. All right, go. So, and that is her getting good at objections. You have to get good at objections. They're part of our job. And I know they suck, and you're like, God, I just wish you guys would just not ask me this stuff and just trust me. But people have legitimate questions. I did. When I started drinking Shakeology, I'm a nurse, so I'm very health conscious. I mean, I've grown to be very health conscious. I want to know if it was organic. I want to know if it was gluten free. I want to know where it came from. I want to know how they process it. I want to know if there's actual nutrients in it, because are they putting too much heat? Are they denaturing their stuff? I had tons of questions, and there are some people that I've gotten and they have tons of questions. You got to get good at objections. It's just plain and simple. And it's not going to happen from one night to the next. It's going to happen over time. And I'm getting better at it because I use these scripts. And then over time, I'm educating myself. And you guys, Shakeology is the bread and butter of our business. If you don't know the ins and outs of Shakeology, you got to think long-term, because that's what's going to get you long-term. And if you haven't listened to Darren O'Lean's podcast. You need to listen to his podcast. You need to, oh, this is another link. You need to listen to Shay Stanford. I know it was in New Coach University. It was post 6. It got taken off. I don't know if it got put back on or not, but I found the YouTube link, and I'll put it in the comments. But that Shay Stanford, that training she did on Shakeology changed my business as well. So you have to hone in on that. And then using your third-party tools. If you don't know how to use them, ask your coach. In your Coach Online office, you need to learn how to use the videos from the promo videos. And because you got to do less talking and more visual for people. I used to vomit, like other people have, vomit Beachbody, like vomit nasty on people, like with these huge long messages. And I've got really good at using the scripts and using my third-party tools. And again, dig into training. You have to know it to grow it. And I think I made that very clear here with the last couple of slides. Another cool third-party tool I started using was Veronica's All Access Challenge Pack. When people ask me, okay, so you've given me all this information, what's the price? I love Veronica's All Access Challenge Pack video. And I say to people, all right, this last video that I'm going to show you is so near and dear to my heart, because everybody that you're going to see in this video they're all my teammates, and they're all real people that have real stories, real results, and I know all of them, and take a look at it. And she goes over all the pricing and how it's on discount. It's an amazing video. And I say that to them because it's just, I feel like it's more meaningful to them, and they get the sense of community and the connection of everybody. And another cool video I use, I just don't send the 21-day fix promo video. I also send how she explains the container system. I didn't always do that. I just used to send the 21-day fix actual fitness. When I show people the 21-day fix containers explanation, I feel like they get it more. So sorry guys, I know it's going really late, but I don't do anything fancy right now, and this may not last me forever for my tracking. I know that Andrea Crowder did a training at our last Super Saturday about, I forgot what that thing is called. Hold on, let me stop sharing so I can see you guys. Here we go. Okay, Google Streak. Yes, go Sue. So what I pretty much do is like Google Streak, but on paper. So I have a little calendar, and it's a weekly calendar, and also has like a month too. And I use Post-its, and each Post-it has a different category. So like one Post-it is who I'm flirting with, my non-Beachbody conversations. My other Post-it is who are like my continuous non-Beachbody conversations. So like I have a Post-it for the new people for that week. And then I have another Post-it for people that I am having that continual conversation, because not everybody keeps conversating with me. So that way the people that are moving forward with me, they're more on, they have my eye more. Then I have another Post-it on this side for the people that have actually moved to that active like prospect list. Like we're actually talking about like the challenge pack and getting started and all that stuff. And then I have another one about inviting, like who I actually invited to and then another one I have like who's a coach prospects as well. It's nothing fancy, guys. And then whoever buys their challenge pack gets their name highlighted. And if you get moved from a non-Beachbody conversation to an active challenger prospect list on this side, I cross their name out like with a thin pen, and I put an arrow like, okay, they've moved over this way. So it's nothing fancy. It's working for now. You don't have to do what I do. You have to, this is what's working for me now because I take it everywhere with me. I also, one thing I used to do, I've had so many different things. Google Docs is amazing. I use Google Docs for a lot of stuff, and I even use an Excel sheet, but I don't know why it just didn't stick for me, because you could do the same thing. And I know a lot of coaches do this on an Excel sheet, and it's just not working for me right now. Maybe it will in the future. Maybe it works for you, but this is pretty much what is working for me right now. So I know I went over this training with Tabitha, my success partner. And I know she said she got a lot of nuggets from it, and she was going to start implementing. So I just wanted to get some feedback from her about, I know she started putting some of it into play, and if she could just give you guys some quick feedback how it is working for her.
Hey y'all. So I'm gonna try to make it quick and not talk too much because I could talk for a really long time. But so Michelle and I talked about this last week. She kind of went over her slides and stuff, and seriously, amazing information. All of those videos that she shared, y'all need to make sure you watch them. They are amazing. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. There's no reason. Just like she said earlier, this is not new. This is just, we've honed in on it and we've perfected it for our own business. And it's important to remember that you're the CEO. So the exact thing that works for Michelle or that works for me may not work for you, but it's just taking little tidbits and nuggets from each person and putting it together so that it does fit. So the one thing I wanted to kind of touch on that I kind of, after talking to her, I did implement it into my business, was setting business hours. And I've always talked about doing it and always said, yes, I was going to set business hours. And then I didn't. And then I was on my phone all day. And then my husband would be like, you've been on your phone all day. Can we have some family time? So I had actually, a week before I had talked to Michelle, I had changed my workout times. I'd always tried to push myself to work out first thing in the morning. But like Michelle, I'm a nurse. I work 12-hour shifts. So for me to get up and work out before work is waking up at 4 a.m. Ain't nobody got time for that, Cletus. Mama don't wake up at 4 a.m. So, but here's what was happening is I wasn't waking up. I wasn't working out. I'd get home after a long day and then screw it. I didn't work out. So then I wouldn't work out. And so I was setting myself up for failure from the very beginning. So what I did as I slowly started to have this mind shift, I told myself, okay, I'm just going to work at 10 o'clock every night. The kids are in bed. The husband's in bed. I don't have to worry about anybody. And it just it was so freeing. I didn't have this pressure on me all day long. I knew that I was going to work out at 10 o'clock at night. So essentially I did the same thing with my business. On the day I work out, now between 9 and 10, I start work out, and immediately after I work my business for a minimum of 30 minutes. If it's a day that I don't work, I work it longer, obviously, because I have more time. But when I work, I have to wake up early, blah, 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 blah. So I have established that schedule, and it's amazing and liberating because throughout the day, I don't have all this extra noise of, oh my gosh, I got to answer calls. Oh my gosh, I've got to message these people back. Oh my gosh, I have to do this. And I'm very OCD. And so seeing those little number notifications make me want to choke somebody. So I've turned off my notifications so that little red notification number doesn't show up on my phone anymore. Turn it off. There's no rule that says you have to have it on there. Turn it off. So I've turned that off. And then whenever, if I do have pockets of time throughout the day where the kids are napping, or if I'm at work and I'm on my lunch break, then I'll kind of go through, answer some messages and everything like that. But otherwise, everything intentionally, recognition posts, everything like that is set for that time at that specific point at night. And work for Beachbody, I want you guys to realize, does not just mean messaging people. It does not just mean inviting people. It does not just mean setting up challenge groups. It's setting up your recognition. It's looking in your back office. It's getting your workout in. It's making your shake. It's planning your week. Those are all part of your business because those are all essentially going to you get that income that you're looking for, right? Because that's recognition. You need to be recognizing your challengers. You need to be recognizing your team. If you want to be a leader, you need to show them that. So treating it like a business is the other thing I wanted to say. I took advantage of Michelle had shared with us at leadership retreat about writing our schedule on a whiteboard. So that way your family knows what you're doing. So I did that this month. I wrote down all of my team calls for the month. And so that way my husband knows. So he knows during that time, the kids are his and mama's got to do work. And so it just kind of helps because it keeps them on the same page. And for those of you, my husband is incredibly supportive of this business and my pursuant of it. And so if you have a spouse that maybe not necessarily 100% this you're going to get him to on board. You're showing him serious and you're treating it like a business. If you're just like flailing around like a fish out of water, flopping around like you don't know what the hell you're doing, he's not going to take you seriously. Why would he? Because you're just like, oh, I'm going to send a message here and I'm going to do this here. But if you are, babe, I got to clock in right now. And so you clock in and you do your thing. Okay, I'm clocking out. Then he's going to take you more seriously, right? Does that make sense? So that's one thing that for those of you, because I know there are some spouses that are not as supportive, but I think if you show them that you are seriously. Next up, let's see. I'm not stressing out all day when I'm implementing these things. Please mute yourself, please. And the other thing is finding your avatar and focus on one or two things for social media. So I used to do Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, like page, whatever. It's too much. It's just too much. So I have decided, I just sat down and I thought, okay, what am I going to focus on? So I've shifted my focus to my like page and Instagram. And so what I've done is I have the same system that Michelle is using with the Post-its. I've used a lot of systems as well. I've done Google Docs. I've tried writing it down. And this is really, really working for me. I've obviously changed it a little bit so that it works for my business. I have like all of my Instagram followers, people that I'm following on Instagram. I have my active prospects. I have people I've invited to challenge groups. I also have coach prospects. I keep a running list of those. And so just like she said, if I am not where I can grab my book and put their name down, I don't talk to them. I don't talk to them. I don't add them. I don't follow them back. I don't do anything unless I am in a place that I can write it down, because otherwise people fall through the cracks. And I don't know how many times I've scrolled through my messenger to see like, oh, who can I talk to this month? And I'm like, oh my God, that person wanted to buy something. They were ready to join a challenge. And because I got distracted, I wasn't able to follow up with them. So that's kind of the other thing that I implemented were the birthday messages. I never thought to send a private message for the birthday messages. And I have been able to increase my non-Beachbody conversations tenfold just from sending a birthday message. Because like Michelle said, everybody is going to talk to you about their birthday. Yeah, they want to tell you what they did. They want to tell you how they were spoiled. They want to, and it's easy. That's not uncomfortable. That's not scammy or scuzzy feeling, Happy birthday. I hope you have a great day. And they respond, thank you so much. And you respond, what did you do today? And they respond with what they did. And it just becomes this conversation. And now you've created a relationship, because that's what it's about. So it's making a mind shift, you guys. It's not about selling a challenge pack. It's going to come with the territory. It's just going to happen. You need to be creating relationships, and you need to remember that there's a person in front of you, and that's what you want to focus on. Get out of your own head and stop worrying about what they're thinking about you, and think about them. And the minute that you can make that true mind shift, it's an amazing moment. So I've probably talked way too long. I'm sure you guys are like ready to jump into business.
I'm so glad that it's working good for you so far. I was reading through the comments. There were a lot, but the one thing that popped out on me was Instagram. And something that I forgot to say is another thing that you can do is search like stores that you like Gymboree Play Music. My little one used to go to Gymboree. Target's a very general one, or like I know Monica was into Home Goods at one point, so she was connecting with people from Home Goods. There's some on my list now. I can't remember them, but anything that you're interested in at the moment. Like one thing I thought of is I'm weird. Like when it comes to I'm not a big drinker, I don't drink beer. Like I've tried it and I'm not a hard liquor. One thing that I really like, and I don't know if anyone likes this, is amaretto with a little sour. I don't know why I love that drink. And I've just come to the point, like, you know what, I'm just going to stick to with what I love. But then I stopped and I was like, man, like maybe there's other people out there like me, something so stupid. And I think I hashtagged amaretto sour or something like that. And like not a lot came up, but a few came up, and not everybody you're going to look for is going to be your type of people. I mean, hello, I'm hashtagging like alcohol, but I actually found a mom with like kids and stuff. So random stuff. So get to know yourself. And again, you know, you got to reach out to all these people and start building those relationships with them. And there is, Kim Carver had a guest. There was a coach that tagged me on, I wish I would have got, you know what, I saved the video, but Kim Carver had somebody like yesterday or the day before, a superstar diamond coach on one of these groups that he's in. And she had her go on and she talked all about Instagram, and I've gotten like halfway through it. And I'm going to see if I can, how I can, I'll in the boardroom, I'm going to find the video and see how I can link it to everyone. I can't tag everyone's name. It'll be a lot, but I'll figure out to see if I can get a copy of the video or share. I don't know. I'm going to figure it out. But it was amazing. And I started watching it last night, and she talks all about Instagram and how she really, really leverages it. So I forget who asked about Instagram, but that's kind of the basics. So thank you everyone for staying on this long. I only wanted it to be an hour, but it went over. I hope everything was super, super helpful and that you got some nuggets. And I hope you check out all of those trainings that I went through, and just every team call, every training that you can be on or get back. Do it, because that's what's going to help you grow in business. Oh, another thing with the vital process and your challengers, I didn't get into it so much, but there's scripts on how to convert your rockstar challengers to coaches. And that's a whole nother topic, but I didn't really go there, but that's something obviously that needs to be on the forefront of your mind as to move your business forward, is converting your challengers to coaches. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it, and hope this helps. And that's it. And I saw a comment. I did record this. I will post it in the boardroom, okay? As soon as it uploads. All right, everybody. Hope you have a great night. Bye.